Since I have a mixed heritage, I have first-hand experience with stereotypes. It doesn't matter where I lived, which countries I visited, I always in some shape or form was confronted with stereotypes. Sometimes these stereotypes were applied to me, sometimes I applied these stereotypes consciously or unconsciously to other people. Some time ago I read quite an interesting article about stereotypes. Link is in the description, and I decided to discuss it with you. It will probably not be the whole big stereotype video. I will probably cover this topic again in the future, but for today, what are stereotypes, some kinds of it, and what are stereotypes connected with? Let's start. But obviously before we begin, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various experiences about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let's go. As always, we start with a definition, and this is an official definition. In my personal words, stereotypes are opinions about characteristics that are assigned to different groups of people. So there's an opinion that this group of people, all of them, have this characteristic or this character trait. Group of people is defined freely. It can be people who go to the same hobby, it can be people who have same or similar appearance, it can be people who belong to the same religious group, but as long as we have some way of grouping these people together, there will be probably some stereotypes about these people. Obviously, stereotypes can be positive and negative. So positive stereotypes, this group of people has this specific character trait which makes them good people in terms of society. So society thinks that all people who belong to this group are good people. On the other hand, negative stereotypes are stereotypes which assign some negative quality, bad quality, evil maybe quality to some group of people. So in eyes of the society, this group of people is evil. Examples, and these will be examples, not my opinions, but examples of stereotypes. So, examples: all white people are racist. This is a stereotype about white people. It is a racial stereotype. When I was in school, there was a stereotype that all people who wear glasses are nerdy. And at the end of the day, it is also an appearance stereotype. So it is stereotype that is connected to some accessoire that a person is wearing. All buff people are stupid, negative stereotype based off appearance. All East Asian people are smart and can do math. It is a positive stereotype that, by the way, is also hurting the community. It is a racial stereotype. It is based off race. All black people like chicken wings or nuggets, I'm not sure, and watermelon. Actually, I didn't know about this stereotype prior to moving to USA. So this stereotype is not really spread outside of USA, or it's outside probably of North America, based on my personal experience. And I know now the historical background of these stereotypes, but during my life, prior to my living in the USA, I didn't have any idea I didn't know about existence of this stereotype. It was interesting knowledge to gather, although I'm not sure how much did I need it. Stereotypes have positive and negative side, and we start with a negative one, which is pretty obvious. If we are using stereotype to categorize all the people and to assign to them some specific traits, we are completely ignoring individuality of these said people. It is bad in case of negative stereotypes. Maybe this specific person doesn't have that character trait that is assigned to that person due to stereotype, and it is bad because of positive stereotypes. Because if people have positive stereotypes and they really believe in it, that heightens the expectations to this specific group of people. And if some person from this group doesn't have that quality, doesn't have that trait, that person feels themselves bad. Am I not good enough? Am I not really representative? Am I not part of this group? So if we are using racial stereotypes, stereotype black people are lazy, and basically, even if it would be true that a lot of black people are lazy, still there will be enough people who are not lazy. I'm not saying that this is true, but I hope you get my point. And example with a positive stereotype about East Asians and their connection, for example, to being able to do math. And if a person can do basic calculation, then that person is not East Asian enough. Surprisingly, there is a good side to stereotypes, although I wouldn't say that it is very prominent in developed countries, and it is being able to navigate through life easier or safer. Obviously, I'm not talking about a country like Germany, but there are countries where you can kind of assign some very dangerous qualities, some evil qualities to some people who are living in that country. And if you want to be safe, if you want to remain safe, then you know that you shall try to avoid these people. Obviously, not all of these people are actually evil, are actually bad. But sometimes, yes, I would go as far as to say, sometimes you shall not try it. It is something like the story about Romeo and Juliet. If you have two tribes who are fighting all the time with each other, then I would think twice before going to the territory that is assigned to this tribe, to the opposite tribe. It's just basically unsafe. You can die, you can literally die. I don't say that you shall apply this rule to each kind of stereotype, to each stereotype that you know, but just understand that not all of the countries are safe. Not all of the locations are safe, and sometimes stereotypes exist to actually help people to remain safe, to be alive. Just be cautious with them and understand their good sides and bad sides to all of them. Some interesting facts about stereotypes. Point number one, most of the people have stereotypes. They know about them and they use them consciously or unconsciously. These stereotypes can be based on the opinion of the society, of your family, on the community, or maybe on your personal experience, but on a lot of occasions you actually do stereotypes about different groups of people. Not all of the stereotypes will be same for different people. Some stereotypes I have, but you don't have them. Some stereotypes you have, but I don't have them. For example, the stereotype with black people and watermelon. I didn't know about that stereotype prior to my experience with USA, but I assume most of people in the USA know about that stereotype. Except for that second point, which also a negative side of existence of stereotypes, and it is a thing called stereotype threat. And it is a fear of confirming a negative stereotype. A lot of people not only know stereotypes about other people, but they also know stereotypes about them. So basically, I belong to this specific group, so I know stereotypes about my group. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them. And if you are consciously thinking about existence of the stereotype that is connected to you, and it is a negative stereotype, your actions will be different. It may be what food do you order. For example, I saw a sketch by College Humor about a black person who decided not to order chicken, some kind of chicken, in order to not to prove this stereotype. Or even their ability to focus and to concentrate and to work harder. Sometimes when people are reminded you are part of this community and you don't want to disappoint us, they work even harder in order to not disappoint. They are scared to show that this stereotype is real, because as soon as you show, yes, I'm a part of this group of people and this stereotype applies to me, it is extremely difficult to prove that this was an exception, because people think in categories. People are not thinking way too much. People are seeing and thinking, okay, the stereotype applied once and I know that this stereotype exists and the stereotype is based on a lot of people. So I think that this stereotype applies to you all the time. And it is difficult to prove that people wrong. Is it good? Obviously not. But the fact that it isn't good will not help you to succeed in your job or maybe succeed in the relationship or whatnot. It is a pity, but people know about stereotypes and use them in order to navigate through life and in order to categorize people, yeah. Which is a pity and shall be used with caution, at least in the developed countries. But it is nothing that we can go away from anytime soon, at least in my personal opinion and experience. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is the case, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. You can also leave a comment. And except for that, I wish you a great weekend. I see you on Monday.